These cops. Talk to me, Sauce. I saw you sent that to the crew, man. Let us know what was going on. Even though I saw it, I was like, man, I know you're gonna want to touch on it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think they got sentenced already. They already lost their jobs, but they got sentenced on, on the lesser shit, and this they got acquitted. So
So, if anybody don't know what we're talking about, which you should, Tyree Nichols was a man. I think was it a traffic stop or some shit like that.
I think so.
Um, they literally held the guy up and fucking beat him to death. And it was so bad. I want to say he was screaming out for his mom. And even President Trump, at the time, he wasn't the president, but he said, man, it's a horrible fucking thing to watch, man. He's like, the guy screaming out for his mom. Well, lose the job or not, man, these guys just got acquitted of it. They got found not fucking guilty. So my thing is like, it goes back to what I was saying last week when Sully was here. When this whole thing about police brutality and police violence started out, we weren't necessarily, nobody was talking about white cops. We was just speaking on cops in general, not specifically white cops, because we all done had that run in with those black cops that take shit way too fucking far. And here we got three brothers, hell, they all look like they can be related to him, beat this man to death. Like when the fuck is enough, man? Like, we look at a guy who, um, you know, and again, I feel sorry for the sheriff that was killed, but we looking at, a guy whose son was shot while he was running away, was shot in the fucking back. And the next day, he shoots I mean, he runs into a sheriff, and he goes into, we see him go into the courtroom, and there's a legion of police officers and sheriff's deputies in there, trying to intimidate him, as if this man doesn't have some sort of righteous anger. The way he exercised it may have been wrong, but I mean, we keep seeing these same stories, and one of the things that I said was, when we watch this shit has an effect on the soul, to keep watching people that look like us, you know what I'm saying, not even get due process, but instead they're getting beaten to death, they're getting shot. And then you look and you see a video of a man pointing a fucking AR rifle at a police car, and the police officer's doing whatever the fuck he can to get out of Dodge. You know what I'm saying? But they just assume that a guy's got a gun, a brother's got a gun, and they just fucking start shooting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you get some people, across racial lines that say, man, it happens to us too. It's like, well, where's the fucking videos of this shit at, man?
Yeah,
You know?
it's a matter of, what do you want to see it in 4K,
Right,
HD, because
right.
like how many angles, which angle do you want to watch?
It's like,
Like you said, enough's enough.
did you see the video of the 7 and the 8-year-old kid
Yeah.
that had a standoff? They had
Yeah,
somehow
yeah,
got their dad's
yeah, yeah,
gun.
yeah,
And I
yep,
was gonna say, well, is the dad gonna get locked up? But the motherfucker's already locked up. Two
yeah, yeah.
little Caucasian boys, had a gun,
New
and
Mexico.
right, and they shot a non-lethal round at him. So I'm like, so y'all do have non-lethal rounds on hand.
Uh-huh.
They shot a non-lethal round at him. Little buddy up that shit on him and
Yeah,
pulled
when
the
that first
trigger.
shot came, that was telling.
Yes.
When they did that little try to draw fire or whatever, or draw attention away from them kids, he upped it.
He up
Like
it. No.
he upped it, and they said it misfired or something. It
Right.
didn't, but he
Right.
upped it. His response, most kids, somebody shooting at you is like, ah, shit. He was
Right.
like, fuck this,
Right.
I got to return fire. I was
How
just like,
many?
that motherfucker's a problem. He
And,
is a problem. The other
and
one was like this, ah, shit, they shooting. The other one was like, well, shit, watch this.
hey, and I don't mean to laugh. It's just how he's saying it. But he upped that shit like John Wick,
Like it was nothing. Like,
like it
oh,
was
shit,
nothing.
oh, they missed. Oh, don't miss. That's how he
Right.
upped it. Like, damn.
And
That's what scared me.
yeah,
I watched that whole video, and I saw the dust fly up, and that motherfucker turned his head and was like,
yeah,
shit.
yeah, right, yeah.
It's like I
I
said,
don't mean to laugh.
his brother was like, they shooting. Oh,
And again,
shit.
let me say something. I'm glad those two little boys made it out. But it would have been nice if you thought that he had a real gun, it would have been nice if somebody had a shot a non-lethal round at Tamir Rice. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I wish that these guys, if they was in fear of their life, would have backed up when they saw the guy running away from them. I'm saying I don't want to see anybody hurt, white, black, or otherwise. But we keep seeing the same shit, and then we watch motherfuckers for it, and we got people, like I said, across the racial borders talking about they got fucking black fatigue, and then you got other black motherfuckers trying to make a dollar, agreeing with that shit as if every black woman out here is modeling themselves after Sexy Red, and every brother is out here modeling themselves after Lil Wayne. That's just not what the fuck it is. But it's just crazy, man. And these motherfuckers, they let them off, whether they lost their jobs or not. They let these cats is about to walk free, man.
Yeah,
The federal
clear off those charges, but they
yeah,
got some pending, but nothing where they should be sat down for a decade or so.
yeah,
Nothing like that. Yeah, they pretty much they got off, which they did. But
right.
yeah, man, it's just it's fucked up. Like you said, say, oh, so you do have alternatives, when it comes to kids, and I understand they're kids or whatever, but they still shoot our kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they deemed as if you're black, you're an adult. The
Right.
motherfucker's 7.
Right.
He's an adult. He's dark. He's
Right.
an adult.
But again, that's like that time I brought it up before when they had those Olympics over there. I want to say it was Brazil or some shit like that, and the motherfucker was going over there showing his ass, and the white news pundit was like, yeah, he's just he's a kid. Kids make mistakes, and Al Roker was like, yeah, don't do that shit. That man is 30 years old. Don't he's not a fucking child. His brain is developed. He knows exactly what he's doing. Well, I'm just saying, he said no. Like I was like, get his ass, Al. Al was like, no, don't do that shit. He's not a, because then when it's a 7-year-old black kid, it's like, young man. Because I was looking like, damn, they got non-lethal rounds, nobody slammed them motherfuckers all over the place. But then when you look in these schools, and it's a little girl who whatever's going on and she won't get up out the desk.
And he body slams the hell out of her. Yeah.
Right. In the desk. The desk,
in the desk.
He slammed her with the desk on her. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't even fully up out the chair. And he did her, and the desk got suplexed. So I'm just saying, it's like, there is a disparity. I don't give a fuck what nobody says, and they could kiss my ass with this black fatigue shit because, again, people of all races, all class, all genders commit crimes. They're entitled to due process. Not I'm in fear of my life, so I'm gonna have 2 motherfuckers hold them down, or I'm gonna have one hold them down while we beat them to death, or we choke them to death. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers saying I can't breathe. Yes, you can. Why they got you in the triangle choke?
See,
how the fuck? I'm telling you, I can't breathe. Well, if you could breathe, if you couldn't breathe,
you couldn't.
What
respond.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
you couldn't respond. That's some Salem witch trial shit that they get out the witch's hammer. Well, if she floats, that's how we know she's a witch. But if she drowns, then she's human. Like, the bitch gonna lose either way. You know what I'm saying? That's some Salem witch trial shit. So,
what you got, old man? About these dudes just walking again. They don't even matter. It's not white or black. It's blue.
This just goes to reinforce what Ryan Hilton did. Last week. It's like, if there is nothing coming to your aid, whether it's the police, whether it's further down the justice system, like, you will not get any justice. What do you do?
Right.
What do you do? There's nothing left for you, man. Either you take matters into your own hands, or you just leave the country.
Lay down and fucking die. Yeah, leave the country or lay down and die. That's it.
Yeah, and that's what they want to beat you into submission. They want to keep showing stuff like this, no matter if the color of the person who committed the crime, as long as they got that badge, which is, they say the biggest gang, you protect it. And they want to keep enforcing this, saying that, look, you step out of line, this is your fate, So time and time again, we keep seeing these videos. Again, back to my original point, man, which angle you want to watch it? You want to watch the body cam, or do you want to watch the street cam? Do you want to watch that person across the street who was filming it? Do you want to watch the girlfriend who's filming in the passenger seat? The whole, like old boy who told him, like, look, I got my firearm on my side, and my permit is in the glove box. They still lit him up. Girlfriend recorded the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, which video do you want to see?
I mean, and I think that you just hit on something even deeper, big bro, which is the psychological warfare of this shit.
That's it.
Mhm.
This
That's
shit is
it.
this shit is enough to break people's spirits when you keep seeing it and you keep seeing it and you keep seeing it. And it's like, all right, I can almost see if it was like a standoff and it was one of these,
Not even close.
these shootouts like fucking
Not
Heat,
even
like
close.
De Niro and Val Kilmer in the middle of the street. But
Not
you
even
you
close.
you constantly see motherfuckers running, children
Handcuffed.
running,
Little boy
handcuffed.
playing in the park twirling.
Right.
A gun.
Or
How do you do this with a 38 or a 9? How do you do that with a real gun?
right. Or big bro, how are you handcuffed
Go ahead.
in the back seat of a cruiser with a bullet hole in your head?
Uh-huh.
And on 2 occasions this happens and they say you committed suicide.
Suicide.
You know what I'm saying? How are you a little black girl coming from a fucking pool party and they body slamming you on the fucking concrete and some white dude run out his house to hold this fucking 13-year-old girl, 14, whatever, down? Like this shit is to break somebody's spirit. And then, to have motherfuckers turn around and say, oh, well, everybody got black fatigue. That's, like, what about, okay, black fatigue. Okay, let's go with that. What about the officer, motherfucker? He had a Hispanic last name. He was a black dude. I think he was an Air Force lieutenant or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the dude, I think he was at a gas station, and they start fucking him up.
He drove. They pulled him up. He was scared to pull over because it was too dark, and he said, "Fuck that! I'm going straight to the gas station." Pulled over, and dudes pepper sprayed him and all that shit. Yeah, in uniform.
What about the guy that was in? I think it was a van. He had his hands up.
Mm-hmm.
And they were whipping his ass. And I said, man, if he could swing, he'd kill one of these motherfuckers because they beating his ass and his hands never left a vertical, but they was just up like this. And all you heard them screaming was, hey, stop reaching for my gun. Stop reaching for my gun. And that's how they got fired, because they looked at the footage and he was like this, like, I'm not reaching for you. I'm not reaching for your gun. Like, this shit, it breaks people's spirits. And then I see these, I see certain people, I don't want to say their names because then it's just going to send people to their channel, and they already got, like, it's sad, we got like 2,500 people. These motherfuckers got 300,000 something people. But that just show you the hustle of YouTube, man. If you saying the right things, if you leaning towards this way, you know what I'm saying? That's where the views going to come in. But, you got these people like, yeah, but, white people are, tired of this, that, and the 15th. It's like, man, shut the fuck up. Shut up, so.
Yeah,
but rest in peace to this brother, man. And karma's a real thing, man. I just hope there's some kind of divine justice, man, because,
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem is, they sold us this idea that, our heaven is in the afterlife.
Oh, yeah.
Not here. Not here. Not present. Yeah, man. Speed on, man. Speed on.
Yeah, let's get it, man. Let's get it, man. Shout out to you, Tyre, man.
Rest in peace.